All right, Shalom. We give our praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostle, that was a great millstone and well. Peace and salutation, all that I can pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Tazama Debar coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and through the spirit wanting to do a real brief lesson, just kind of laying back off the inflation that's leading to this recession that Mr. Powell is about to speak on, man. Because we've been in a recession for a while, but they've been trying to, manipulate the numbers and lie about it. But hey, it's only going to continue to get worse. As Feds is making more cuts, it's only going to make the debt even more worse, man. And I even asked on Chat GPT real quick, and I said, with the Fed making cuts, does that weaken the dollar buying power around the world and adds more debt to America? Yes or no? And it said yes. It usually weakens the dollar buying power worldwide. It usually adds more USA debt, and that's what you're seeing, man. Why? Because at the same time that your boy DJ Trump is getting his golden statue in Washington D.C. with the Bitcoin, that's just them mocking that the dollar is getting more weaker and weaker because they're gradually transferring to what? A cashless society. This is what they really want, man. They want a cashless society here in the coming days, man. And I say coming days, weeks, and months. That's the times we're coming into where they're about to transition into a whole new system. All these things you're seeing taking place as far as in Babylon the Great, far as with this, with CK and freedom of speech and all these various things is leading to the social credit system that is backed by the MOTB, which is Revelation 13 and 16, the mark of the beast. It's all been set up. It's strategically planned out through the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, but mainly planned by your elites, man, which they call the banking families. They've been planning this out for a long time, man. And the beloved apostle Tahar and the beloved apostles been speaking on this for 30, 40 years, how they was going to usher this system out, man. And we're clearly here. All these black swan events that they're pushing to lead to this full control with the MOTB. We're clearly in the times, man. So I'm gonna let him speak on this recession, even though they try to use code words not to really say it, but this is clearly the time we're into, man. And before I play it, this is a copyright disclaimer under the Section 107 of the Act of 1976, fair use disclaimer. I'm not using this for any monetary gain. I'm using it.
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. While the unemployment rate remains low, it has edged up. Job gains have slowed, and downside risks to employment have risen. At the same time, inflation has risen recently and remains somewhat elevated. In support of our goals, and in light of the shift in the balance of risks, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to lower our policy interest rate by 1/4 percentage point. We also decided to continue to reduce our securities holdings. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that growth of economic activity has moderated. GDP rose at a pace of around 1.5% in the first half of the year, down from 2.5% last year. The moderation in growth largely reflects a slowdown in consumer spending. In contrast, business investment in equipment and intangibles has picked up from last year's pace. Activity in the housing sector remains weak. In our summary of economic projections, the median participant projects GDP to rise 1.6% this year and 1.8% next year, a touch stronger than projected in June.
Showing you that this place is done. There's no healing this place. There's nothing that's going to stimulate the economy. There's nothing that's going to make this place like it was, man. Hey, it's done, man. That golden cup, as America once was, as in the Lord's hand, that golden, that golden place that everybody around the world wanted to come to, is done. It had its rise and its peak. Now you're at that rapid decline, man. And it's only continue to get worse, man. You hear what he said. There's no more consumer spending. Why? Because everybody's broke. The housing market is crashing right in your face. All of these farmers, your farms and all the things is crashing as well, which is going to lead to famine of food because nobody's tilling the ground, nobody's tending to the animals. So it's a lot of things that's happening behind the scenes that a lot of people are not paying attention to because they're distracted with the Hungarian dialects as far as this, what happened to old buddy and all these talking points of taking away people's freedom of speech. So you got all these various things taking place. Nobody's really paying attention to the main thing at home is what the economy. Economy is what the basically those that watch over the house. So this place is done. This place is on its way out, man. They're only doing is making all these cuts, which is going to lead to add more debt to the dollar because the dollar buying power is going to continue to get weaker and weaker, man. And we're clearing the times where America is at its lowest point. This is why they're doing all these various things, trying to help with them small hats over there and get them aid and things. Because while we're going into a war, they're ushering in a war because within a war, you get more money. It's more spending because the elites, what do? They fund both sides. But we're clearly in a time where they're going to try to usher in this new system, this social credit system, the MOTB, Universal Basic Income, and control of the narratives. This is why they come with the freedom of speech. And basically, like they did with Jimmy Kimmel, they'll be able to do it at all jobs where they can just get you out the job. And if you're speaking against certain talking points when it comes to the internet, this is what they want. It's total control, man. And while they're doing that, they're gradually crashing the economy, man, right in your face. While you people distracted with your bread and circus, showing you this is Rome all over again. You give them the football, the basketball, all these forms of entertainment, celebrities, all their little idols they can worship. They're not fully aware that the economy is crashing right behind them, man. That's why we know that Nero, DJ Trump, is right back in that position again as in the ancient world, man. Because he's about to push forth a blame towards the children of Israel, the chosen people, and try to control the narrative. Why? So at the same time, he's trying to cover up the falling of Rome. This is what you're seeing taking place, man. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. Shall not all these things take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases, which is not his? And that's what America is going to continue to do, going around pillaging, stealing land, taking other nations' resources, setting up economic hitmans. And now what you're seeing, all the nations is isolating America, and all the nations don't want to do business with America. Because what did DJ Trump do? He put all these tariffs on these other nations. Why? Just to make America great again. Just to make America great again, really just to make America all white again. All about whitey, right? But at the same time, he's crippling the economy, man. And that's what he's doing. These Edomites are so dumb. They rather cripple their own economy just so they can say they're over a nigga and a Hispanic, man. But that's the mindset of a goddamn Edomite, man. They're fucking dumb. And it says, shall not all these things take up a proverb against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases, which is not his? How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay. That debt, the word thick clay goes back to debt. And that's what you're seeing. All this debt that's been laid upon this economy, man, on that debt clock. When you go to that debt clock, it's only continue to get worse and worse. Almost 37 trillion, 38 trillion, which you can't forget about the taxes, which is almost 200 trillion plus. So, man, it ain't no buying and paying that back, man. This place is done. There's no building back, no making this place great again. It's nothing but enchantments and witchcraft they're putting on the minds of the masses so they can push forth their main agenda, and that's bringing in this new world order, man. See, we're not ignorant Satan devices. The men of the Lord are fully aware what's going on. We clearly see that this devil is about to try to come down with great wrath. Not no trial, but he is going to come down with great wrath because he knows his time is short. So he has to hurry up and do what? Crash the economy. And why he's crashing the economy, he's distracting people with the affairs of this life, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord, because it's not going to be worth anything, man. Like you just said, that buying power of the dollar is done. But when they really crash this shit, ain't no gold and silver is going to be able to help you in a time of need. When they really bring forth this collapse, this final collapse, when there's no bread and no water and no lack, and it's a lack of supplies, man. It's lack of resources. That's what they're doing because they want you to depend on them for the one of all things, man. They're going to ration out who gets what if you got to have the MOTB. Just like in the time of 2020, if you didn't have that, what inside you couldn't go to ball games. You couldn't participate. That was a gradual effect of what the times they're coming into now. That was nothing but a prelude of what they're pushing right now to see who would submit. The majority of the world submitted. So now they're really about to bring forth the calamity and all the destruction, the famine of food, the pestilence, the sword, draconian measures as far as the martial law. That's why he's setting up all these damn national guards all around the world, because at the end of the day, they're setting up a major event to take place where they can usher in these United Nations and these sleeper cell soldiers to come out and bring forth the drama, not the drama, but the boots on the ground, man. That's the times we're coming into, man. We can clearly see a financial collapse is around the corner, man. And it says, they shall cast their silver in their streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. And that's what you see. It's going to be a stumbling block unto their iniquity. We're in a time of war. What do you see America doing? They're getting closer and closer with the small hats over there, far as doing all these legislations where you can't speak on them. Why? Because we're in a time of war. War leads to money. They fund both sides. That's what they want, because they know that the American economy is done. So what are they doing? They're ushering in a time of war, but this is still biblical prophecy, man. They threaten you with World War III and all this stuff. At the same time, they pushing fear upon the people so they can do what? Submit to this new system, but they're not knowing the Lord is still going to make them go to World War III, man. Because man's goings are the ways of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? This is still the will of Yahweh by Shemal Shai. And what is the Lord doing? He's putting the spirit on Esau, Edom, to usher in these prophecies, man. Famine of food, pestilence, destruction. That's what's coming. The rise of the MOTB system, the collapse of the society. That's the times we're coming into, man. And he's using this devil to usher it in. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 8. And you can apply this. This is from speaking on Antioch's Epiphany, but you can apply it to the times we're in now, because as you read in Romans, the 15th chapter, 4th verse, the things are written aforetime was written for our learning. So you can clearly see that the times of, as before is here. This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And it says, and through his policies, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And that's what he's doing. All these different policies that DJ Trump and his administration are doing is actually crippling the economy. ICE and the raids and things like that. That's with the lack of, and with the migrants and with getting rid of northern tribes. That's crippling the economy, man. You're weakening your economy as far as on buying, on building. That's weakening the economy. They know, but Esau knew what he was doing, man. And a lot of maggers, so-called maggers, Edomites, are seeing that, and they're upset because they see that he's really setting them up for that epic fall. But at the same time, it's beautiful, man. That's going to create what? Civil unrest. That's going to create what? Egyptian against Egyptian. Isaiah 19 chapter, the 2nd verse. Because they're going to fight amongst each other because they're going to see they've been played. And it says, and through his policies, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. And that's what you see with DJ Trump, man. These elites, man. Got the golden statue out there. They're getting very, very proud, man. He's getting the Lord's heart and Esau Edom's heart, where he feel like he is untouchable. DJ Trump, they're setting him up. The elites have set him up to be a dictator and brighten your face. That's what he's doing. He's speaking very bold with legislations and things that he's writing in a law where he's untouchable. That's what they want. They set him up for this time, man, to be that cruel Lord, Isaiah 19 and 4. And as he's doing this, he's doing what? Crippling and crashing the economy. And it says, and magnify himself in his heart, and by peace he shall destroy many. And this, all these legislations were for peace for America, to make America great again. Bring back peace in these streets, man, to clean America up. All these ICE raids and all these things that he's doing. But what is it doing? It's crippling the economy, man. Nobody's buying anything because nobody can afford to buy anything, man. All these tariffs that you put on these different nations, nobody can buy anything, man. You're actually setting this place up for a fall, but he knows that because he's a witch. MAGA goes back to what? Witch. He's a fifth level witch, DJ Trump. And he's setting this place up for an epic fall, man. And it's beautiful. Because this is still all the will of Yahweh by Shemal Shai, man. Still all the will of the Lord. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. Verse 10. And it said, and it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, that there shall be a cry, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. And that's what you're going to see. That fish gate represent what? Buying and selling. Like the stock market, man. The buying and selling, the trading. That's what you see taking place, man. It says in a howling from the second walk of that Great Depression, that like it's gonna be worse than the Great Depression, man. It's gonna be a great crying when the people really gonna be jumping out the windows and shit when they really bring forth the collapse, because it's all orchestrated. But they have a period of time they really gonna set it up and really gonna crash the markets, man. And it says in a great crashing from the hills. The hills represent the what? The markets, man. Your trade your trade centers where they trade and buy and sell, man. The stock markets. That's what's coming, man. And it says in the howling, it says, how ye inhabits of Mishtak and the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off, man, because it's not going to be able to profit them at the time of the Lord's wrath, man. As we read in Ezekiel 7 and 19 verse, man. They're going to cast their silver and the gold in the streets because it's not going to be able to profit them when it's a lack of supplies and a lack of resources. It's going to be a famine of food, a lack of water. It's going to be a stumbling block into them. That's what's coming, man. Now, this Great Depression point two is at the door, man. And anybody with any common sense can see that the Lord is setting this place up for an epic fall. There's no building this place back better. There's no bringing this place back as it once was. You're really looking at the last days of Babylon the Great, man. You're in it, man. You're in it. In 2026, it's going to be, whoo, there are these legislations as far as the SNAP benefits and all that, all these things that you got to do to be qualified, really showing that they're clearly taking away every access of life in this society, man. They want these people to beg. That's the times we're coming into. Let's get one more. I won't go make this too long. Jeremiah chapter 49. Let me see. Bear with me, man. Yeah, there we go. I was on the wrong one. It's Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, and all the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, because America was sitting on is still the top nation right now. And with all the other nations, they was drunken of the democracy, the philosophies, and the ways of America. They wanted to be just like America, because America influenced around the world. But this was through Bible prophecy. Now the nations are mad because they see that America has done nothing beneficial for their nation, but destroy their places, stole their resources, push their democracy on their people, and got them waxing worse, man. And it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her to take bond for her pain? If so, she may be healed. And there's no healing this place, man. There's no crying out to the Lord and bringing this place back to the way it was. This is it. What you see right before you, you are living in the end of the days of Babylon the Great, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. That's why it says, what in Ecclesiastes 7 chapter, it better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, man. Now you're living in the end of this man's system, the end of Rome 2.0, the end of a reign of the Edomite. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us everyone go into their own country, for her judgment have reached into the heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, man. What is that, Revelation 18:5? The judgment of this place have reached into the heavens, man. And all of the nations, what are they doing? They're fleeing and going back to their places. Because they already done pimped out this place, man. They done got the money, done sent it back. They see that America's on its way to a major collapse. They see it. A lot of heathens see it. That's why a lot of heathens is getting the hell up out of here. They see that America's is at its end, man. And they see that, hey, it's no healing this place and bringing it back to the way it was, man. Hey, just walk around. Just go to it's malls, it's deserts now. Ain't nothing. All these malls is not. They used to be popping on every day. You can go to the mall, they be popping, they be packed Friday and Saturday, especially, even on a Sunday. Now, ain't no such thing as a mall like that. A lot of these little kids, they don't even know what a mall is like that, man, because they used to buy stuff off the internet, showing that this place is done. This place is done. There's no more bringing this place back to the way it was, man. The Lord has put the spirit out there that's crashing this place through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. So you're witnessing the fall of this man's system, man, which is beautiful. And this economic collapse is going to be epic, man. It's going to be epic. And we're here, man. So, our is our Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. I want to close it out by saying, call Halayim La Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostle elders, great millstone of well, and peace and salutation to all the Aki and pushing the